Okay, you're live. There we go. Take it.
Always taking flight, never think of consequences. Now my enemies leave them leaking my intentions. That hood life. The life is what I'm living. This that hood life.
What up, everybody? Welcome to episode 16, Two Beans in a Pot. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you guys. Excuse, my grandson, it's going down right now, but no, that was just my grandson, excuse me. So again, thank you for tuning in, Two Beans in a Motherfucking Pot, with my co-host, Erica.
What's up? What's up? Sorry, I'm still like, oh my God, what's going on right now? But yeah,
So,
hi everybody.
Episode 16, and today we're going to be talking about education, higher learning, or I mean, just in regard, just the full scale of just should your kids be going to school, to higher learning, like for example, to college after high school, or
Like, damn, it's school period, huh? We're gonna go there?
No.
Don't even send them to fucking kindergarten like that.
No. It's just higher learning, like after high school. Should we be sending our kids to high school? Should we be telling them just go fucking straight to work like we normally do? You know what I'm saying? Or as Latinos, you know what I'm saying? Or what's your opinion? So we're gonna talk about those subjects. I mean, on some of those subjects, and you know what I mean. We're gonna see if we could get some input for some of you guys, and we do appreciate you guys for tagging in. Thank you guys.
Yeah. So I think that this came about too from a conversation first. Okay. Yeah, a conversation that we had because of it. Right. I think for me the question really came across like before. I used to be more like, yeah, when I was going to school, I was kind of like, yeah, push for it. We should be doing that. You know what I mean? Because to me, it was like I was really benefiting from it while I was going to school. But after I stopped school is when I started, and I'm not using my degree right now. And so, and that's complicated or whatever why I'm not using it. I can't get my transcripts or whatever, but because I'm not using it, I guess I'm kind of like, well, if you can't use it, you know what I'm saying? And in this case, I can't use it for whatever debt, it's a housing debt because I was living on campus. So you know what I'm saying? I can't use it, so it's kind of like, and even if I could have used it, the major what I majored in, like that's not. It was like to get like higher position in probation and stuff like that. Criminology, right? Then my whole intent was like to go to law school or do something with law in juvenile.
She's still gonna do that. She does. She works on some of that stuff already.
Yeah, no, I'm still gonna do that, but I'm just saying like. So that's kind of like what really kind of started being like, should you really push for higher education? Because I'm in a debt now. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't make enough money to start paying off my student loans yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just make enough money to live, So, was it necessary?
Well, what's your opinion? I think it boils down to a lot of different things, but I like we like to keep it real, right? So this is the second recap we're doing this, like I was saying in the thing, because I lost the other one. But
oh, you did mention that? Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say that. I was like, I'm not gonna mention that.
I fucked up. I lost it. But
it was episode 9 or something like that. So if you see it missing, that's what it was.
After going through the whole convo with her and talking and stuff, is like I actually believe that we should. There's not even a question as if we should or shouldn't. Like we should, And the reason for that, in my opinion, is because we don't have enough people in high positions. Like for example, what I mean by that is there's a lot of Latinos out there doing good. So I don't want to,
But it's not representative of the population.
Right.
For example, like in California, we're majority Latino, right? And the majority of our representatives or governing bodies are not majority Latino. They're not. So therefore, that's what he's saying. Like, that's something that he had brought up, and I'm like, oh, that's true, because I forget that. Well, in order to get into these kind of things, you do need to know, politics, and yeah, and I didn't even know nothing about politics until I got to college. I didn't know nothing about voting or propositions or.
I mean, we knew of it. We don't want to say but like how it works.
Yeah.
What you need to do are the steps.
I heard people say go vote and stuff like that, but okay, and did you vote for president? Right? Like I think you kind of learned that somewhat in high school, but the whole really the politics and the parties and what that all means in government and in your society, like that. I learned that in college. And how it actually works, like not the electoral college, for example. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, I learned that in college. You know what I'm saying? So I believe I think that yes. There still is a fine line, right? Like if your kid doesn't have any fucking liking or loving in school, I mean, there's nothing you can do. You can push him, you can do what you want, but he might go otherwise, another place, Or lie to you and say, yeah, I'm going to school, fuck you, right. But I believe we need to have those because at the moment, it doesn't just have to do with just in the politics either, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know, like I said, I don't want to down anybody. I don't want anybody to think that, oh, fool, what are you talking about? We have a dope-ass Latino fucking, I don't know, fucking doctor. Representative or mayor like doctor or something, you know what I mean? But what I mean is like, it's like, I'm talking about lawyers, and I'm talking about very well-known lawyers. And very well-known judges, very well-known police chiefs, chiefs of police. And representative to us. So there should be a lot of us because there's a lot of us in the population. Yep. So there should be a lot of very well-known attorneys that are well-educated and do well in judges and, things like that, right? Yep. Police officers and, you know what I'm saying? There should be a lot of us representing it in every which, field. Because especially in California, and so we're not talking about like other states. No, of course we need representation in every state, but we do believe that representation should be representative to your population. You know what I mean? Like, let me just give it to you like this. I'm gonna be straight the fuck up. I know everybody thinks LA is like, oh, that's little fucking Mexico, and there's a bunch of Chicanos, and there's a bunch of Mexicanos, and there's a bunch of Latinos, whatever the hell, whatever, little damn realm you want to fall into, right? That is very untrue. LA is very diverse. I mean, yes, there is a lot of Latinos. We might have the majority as far as the people living in there, but check it out. I have realized that even outside of Mexicanos, and I'm going to take it a little, like, real close, is what I mean by that is this. There's Koreatown. There's Chinatown. There's there's like a little Saigon, there's all these little things like that, right? And there's even Salvador. It's called something Salvador in like LA, and it's like, I think that's dope, but we need more of that, right? Like gente from Salvador, gente from Guatemala, gente from Panama, gente from Brazil, gente from Nicaragua, like all these places, right? Like, if we have in that community that you're running, if your local councilman is your people, knows your struggle, and he's gonna better serve you. You know what I'm saying? Like if he understands you and feels what you feel, But it's like right here, like just for example, in Pasadena, right? We have, for example, our mayor right now, right? Who's from New York? He's a fucking developer. What the fuck does he know about us in Pasadena struggling? And not affect the struggle because not all Pasadena struggles. You know what I'm saying? Like we have a very diverse community, and Pasadena has been extremely diverse for years. I mean, like look it up. Pasadena has a huge history. It has some of the richest people living here,
Yeah.
and then at the same time, some of the poorest people living here, right? And that has been historically so. You know what I mean? I mean, it. You know, just look up
And
Pasadena,
it's
right?
different than like how you guys might think like, oh, there's Beverly. Excuse me, coronavirus. Fucking Beverly Hills and LA. No, I'm talking about like where across the street is like, what
Mhm,
the fuck happened here?
mhm,
You know, so that's what like she means, like very diverse. Like,
mhm.
so continue. I'm sorry.
I forgot what.
Just like as far as the diversity here and stuff. So our mayor and how he can.
Oh, so then therefore he doesn't understand the whole diverse thing. He's a Caucasian white developer that doesn't understand the dynamics of the community and how the undocumented people and the immigrants have a major role and part in making Pasadena what it is in culture and its cultural and everything that it has. You know what I'm saying? And so he's coming and the whole gentrification kind of thing, and it's making it really easy for people to come. This who's not even from Pasadena has it has and has doesn't even come from a place that not even from California, doesn't even come from a place that's diverse or understands what we're trying to do in Pasadena, and it's not. I mean, it's a little white, affluent community in New York where he's from. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so a lot of shit has changed in Pasadena. There's a lot of gentrification going on. There's a lot of that, and we continue to push to like not have like Walmarts here. You know what I'm saying? So as you can tell, there's no Walmart here. They tried it. Yes, you know what I'm saying. Nope. So that should last how long, probably? Yeah, but he would be the one to try. But he tried. I'm sure he was one of the ones who fucking tried to vote for something like that to happen. But yeah, so
that shit got taken over really quick. Like
there's
this.
No way. And that's an example of like representation that we need, and why higher education. He was saying like higher education is significant.
I think it's significant.
Okay, so then we're getting to that though, like with the whole, it is significant, but we do understand that there are those children that are not prone to do that. So we do also, encourage your children, keeping your children in mind, not just the community as a whole, and even as a community as a whole, because if your child is content with what he's doing, right. You know what I'm saying, he's better contributing to his community. He's not depressed, he's not upset, he's not angry. He or she, right, is not right. So they're contribute better to the community and whatever skill or trade that they can contribute to the community, because we need essential workers. You know what I'm saying? Like, and for lack of a better term, excuse that, but you know what I'm saying, we need all kinds of different workers at different levels. You know what I'm saying? So encouraging that, but encouraging it in order for it to be fulfilling in for their happiness, that and thinking about that when you are encouraging higher education, thinking about that. I think yes, online. I'm not sure if it's Yessie. I was gonna ask, but Yessie, because she goes. Shout out to the homegirl, Yessie. She's UC Irvine student, and I was gonna ask her, like, did your parents encourage you? Are you the first to go to college? My parents didn't encourage me.
Yeah, no, I told you guys, my parents were bitch, go to work. You know what I mean? So that's the thing, though, right? But right now, I understand them. Like in Mexico. See, this is what it is, right? Because I'm second generation. No, I guess first generation here, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm first generation here. Well, not born here, but came here early, like 2 years old. So my parents, my dad worked since he was like fucking 10. You know what I mean? He get no education. My mom has no education. Maybe second, third, fourth grade, maybe at the most. And that's throwing a fucking like I don't even know. So I believe like right now in this age, like right, because we have more like we have kids or teenagers, young adults that are not first generation here no more. These are third, fourth, fifth generations now. You know what I mean? So are they teaching their kids that, or are they more like go to work too still. Even because there's a lot of
I
there's
think
still
that
paisas, you know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to like talk shit. I'm just saying like the
paisanos that he
paisa
said, yeah,
paisa like my paisano, you know what I mean? So it's like
mhm.
when I mean that is like so
They just
what do they say,
immigrated.
right? Like um I'm sure my son's friends' parents that were born here, even though they might be predominantly Spanish speaking, what do they feel? Do they feel like, oh, you got to go to college, you got to do this, you got to do that, even though they didn't, or do they feel like they should?
I think I've seen stuff, and I'm like, I was thinking about the homegirl Ali in Reno. She, her daughter is dating a young man who is actually a freshman in Princeton, and he comes from a Mexican family. His parents are
What?
completely Spanish speaking.
That's dope.
They don't speak English, but I'm like, I never got the story of whether his parents encouraged him, and he's like in civil engineering at Princeton or something, and he's like 17. He was a freshman at 17 there or some shit like.
Fuck.
You know what I mean?
That's
And
the
his
fuck I'm talking
parents,
about.
and I think his dad's like a custodian at the high school or something like
What up,
that.
what
And
up?
his mom, you know, I don't know, but I never got the story as to whether they actually encouraged him or is that something that he picked up on his own.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Like to just do well in school and be
Right.
like, or somebody encouraged him in school. I don't know if it was from home,
Right.
but that'd be like interesting.
I just think it's important, and not just because see, initially I was like, you know what, if the kid isn't fucking participating and doing school stuff and doing that, I mean, we have our son, he's 18 years old, you know, like he's not a bad kid
None of our
at
kids, we
all,
have 5 kids. None
you
of our
know.
fucking kids
Um,
attended university.
so
We'll have
it's like
because we have two
um,
that, well, one
three,
that could still attend.
yeah. Well, this the one we're speaking about today is Trinidad, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, there's, I mean, he's not a fuck up. He's not a gangbanger. He's
Mm-mm.
not a drug dealer. He's not like
He's
he
a
ain't
good
got no
kid.
crime. He's a pretty good kid. You know what I'm saying? Like a normal, just like any other kid right
Mhm.
now. You know what I mean? Normal kid. You know, and it's just like what I believe is that he should have taken the opportunity because
I agree, just
one, he had a lot of backing from he was doing good in football. Don't know what got into him other than like just you know what I mean? Life,
and
you
he
know?
saw me go to school, so you would think, and I encouraged it actually, them going to school.
No, and if you guys remember in our other episodes we talked about his school, which was what was it?
Oxford Preparatory Academy.
That shit.
Mm-hmm. With
um,
the paper.
and that and that school, that's all they taught him. You know what I'm saying? Is to
Yeah, oh
go to
yeah.
school, go to
So
college, go to higher education.
yeah, that was a K through 8 school, K through 8th grade school, and all the classes instead of having room numbers, they
Uh-huh.
were all each like a university. So it was like Duke University, and on Fridays they would wear the Duke University shirts,
Yeah, we had
to
to buy
show,
outfits.
and you have to buy 2 shirts of that university or whatever. I just want to point out what Yessie said. Yessie said that she feels like, because I was saying, like, how did she get encouraged? She said that she feels like, for the most part, the first generation students up on their own on school, because they have parents who don't understand, like the whole university.
Remember we were talking about that? See,
process
that's
of
the
it.
thing,
Yeah.
though, right?
And she said, like, my parents don't understand. They are proud and happy, but don't get it. I told my parents I want to attend grad school, and my dad is scared for me to continue education. Yeah, see, like,
That's
my
what I'm
dad made
saying.
fun of me. He's like, oh, yeah, this girl, her career is school. Like, what the fuck? That should be encouraging, right? Like, I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna get my master's. I got 5 kids, and I'm doing this. And he's like, oh yeah, her career is lo que va a estar de trabajo, escuela. Like, oh, what
Yeah,
the
well,
fuck?
see, that's the thing, and that's a good thing. You know what I mean? Like
Thanks
that's
for
good
the
feedback.
info,
You know what I
Yessie.
mean?
Yeah.
It's like that's what I'm saying, though, right? So, but you see, this is the thing. Cool, I get that, right? Like I respect your dad's, like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, they actually let her
I
do it,
wonder
right?
why he's scared though.
But
That
it's
his
like,
country continue the education.
what I think it is with most, like hardcore Mexicanos You know what I mean? Like parents and things like that. I believe like um they feel like time is being wasted. Like, what are you doing here? What you been doing for the last six
Que no
months?
estás
Oh,
trabajando
you've
y
been
ganando
reading
dinero
books.
and
What the
stuff,
fuck is
right?
books gonna do for you, right? And then so I get that. Like I respect that. Like because they're on that like fucking hustle mode, right? Like straight fucking like our palateros and all the people that be out there right now, right? Like straight hustle mode, 24/7. Like boom, boom, boom. You're gonna they sleep and shit, like you know. But this is what I'm trying to say. And this is what I mean as a whole, as a community, as a like everything our people, right? We're supposed to be able to um provide better. So like Yessie, her, props for going to school and all that, right? But she has her kids. Hopefully her kids don't get to go through that struggle no more. She did the struggle.
But
It's
that's
an
not
easy.
happening with
No,
us.
but I'm
So
just
I'm like,
saying.
I know,
No,
hopefully, but like I said,
well,
I went to school and stuff. None of the kids, they grew up on campus.
yeah,
So you would think, and like even after we left campus, they were like at that school. Not only my 18-year-old, but not only my 18-year-old, but our 12-year-old, went to that school. And I don't know where my 12-year-old is yet in terms of college, but none of
he's
the
going to
other
college.
ones went to
He's
college.
going to college.
Like,
Hey, so
Football.
I went to college a little
my,
while ago.
no, I mean like university, you know what I mean? And my daughter is here, Felice is here. She's like, yeah, I went to college a little bit. And I had two of them. Felice both did attend community college, and they did take some classes, but I'm not sure that Felice even earned any credits. I mean, I'm not trying to be fucked up, but I don't remember that. The stories that I heard were pretty like crazy party stories and shit. And I was like, okay, it's her first year there, her first semester, whatever. But I mean, both of them did attend community college and took some classes. I'm not gonna take that from them.
No,
But
no. I see.
and it's not too late. I mean, I went in at 20 something, like so 24, 25, like so. I mean, it's not too late.
No, I just think that it's like this. So what are we gonna do? Because
Oh, he's scared of the money. So his dad is scared. You see,
Oh.
like, and as he should be, Yesy, because you know what? Like, that's where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? That's why I could kind of like, you know what? Think about what you're doing, and like if the kid is like, oh, I want to go and it sounds fucked up, but I want to learn and be masters in English so I could be an author. Like, bitch, you don't. I'm not bitch, but I'm sorry, but kid, you don't need to have a master's in English in order to be an author.
no,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so
so
true.
you know what I'm saying? Like, so I mean, you could do that, and if you want to, I get it. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not sure that the author is gonna like for sure happen because you have a master's in English. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I can't pay my debt off right now. You know what I'm saying? I have a master's, but I'm not using it, and I can't pay my debt off. I'm in debt for my master's. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean, yeah. So
Adam says when your parents came here from Mexico, they look at chance. That's true. Yeah, you have to take a chance. That that's how you become you. You're right.
yeah, but I think like this. Look, this is my thing. So how are we gonna get? Because this is like, for real. This is like no bullshit. Everything to the side. I will die in peace a day that a Mexicano is up there, just like a black man was in presidency. I will be like, I'm
Well,
good.
I don't think that
I'm good.
any Mexicano
You know?
like
You know,
one
like,
of us, like
no.
a real Mexicano, like one like that's not
So-
a whitewashed Mexicano.
No, so
Because now I'm sure that that's how the black people felt, and now they're all fucking saying all kinds of shit about him,
No,
and all
no.
kinds of shit is coming out about Obama, and
I
he's
don't
like
care.
being questionable. And
I
a lot of people
don't
were
care.
like, I don't care.
I don't
People are
care.
still gonna vote
I
for
don't
him
care. Let
just
me
'cause
tell
he's
you why.
black.
I don't care. This is why I'm telling you I don't care. The reason I do not care is because when it comes down to politics, all is fair and game. You know what I'm saying? So, you're gonna be a president, you better fucking cover your tracks. You better not have been a hoe in high school. You better not have been a hoe or doing some shit or doing ecstasy
Yeah,
in
Obama
college.
deported more people than
So,
Trump. See,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, so It's not just like, hey, I just want to see any Mexican. I think we should be,
No,
talking
so he
about the
did,
importance
and I
of having a
guarantee you
good.
that a Mexican is also gonna deport Mexicans because
Yeah.
he's for this country, right? But see, that's my thing, right? I think that um, I don't know. It's kind of like hard because we all fight for our own like what we want, right? So like, of course, black people, Obama, and all this other, but then he did this, and then he did that. Like she's just saying, right? Like mentioning Erica, just mentioning. Well, now they're questioning him. And no one's ever gonna be perfect, and then we're all not ever gonna be happy. It could be a president that I completely hate him, and motherfucker. I cannot believe you, bitch, fucking faggot. You did all this shit, but you know what? As long as some dude made it, I think we did good. And I could applaud them, and I could fucking like those are my things. You know what I mean? For our people, I want us to win. I want us to fucking flourish. I want us to motherfucking like do all kinds of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like above and beyond what we have already done.
So
You know what
yeah,
I'm
so
saying?
that's why it's important for us,
So
like,
that's
to
why,
really
yeah.
encourage our kids to do what they really want, what they desire. So in terms of higher education, I think it's important, for
As a
us to
subject to bring up.
yeah, we should definitely bring it up and have it as an option.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And then
that's what
and make sure that they lead them to the way, at least through high school, that they do have that option. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's what I try to create for the kids. And even afterwards, I was like, okay, you're fucking up in high school. Okay, that's fine. You can still go to community
That's good.
college. You know what I'm saying? Like, so let's try community college. Like, so. I mean, there's options. I think it's just giving them the options. Especially if they're not really like, okay, they know what they're doing. Like, okay, from jump out of high school, I started my little business or something like, okay, or I want to be a server. Like, there's a career for waitressing. My girl started waitressing for a minute, and I was like, yeah, waitressing is dope. You know what I mean? That's an actual career. Like, they make some bank, and you could be waitressing at some freaking really fancy, nice restaurants and shit like that. Yeah, and so I was encouraging that too. So it's just encouraging them to do what they want to do. I think whether it's higher education or not, but also like we said, keep giving it an option.
No.
And if,
She
even
said
if
it
it's
perfect.
not, even if it's not higher education like English and math, tell them you can actually go to college and pick up a trade too. You know. Yeah, she said, yes, he said bartenders make bank too. And said,
Yeah,
like,
but then all
Cooper,
that
I started my own
bullshit.
business. That's
I
right,
mean,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, that's dope, but I'm just, to me, it's like this. I think it's a little bit more, just this is my own opinion on suicide, than just encouraging, Like, and the reason why I say this the most, is just, I'm all about, like, I lived my life. I already did what I did, and it wasn't the most perfect shit, and I wish I could take more than half of it fucking back and let me redo this shit. You know what I'm saying? But in the other episode, like when I told you I lost the shit and all that, I even talked about things like this. You know what I mean? Like through college, you have these experiences like traveling. You know what I'm saying? For free, like straight free, like for you to just like take an education.
Like studying abroad.
Studying abroad.
Yes, have you done that?
It's like, oh my god.
That might have been canceled.
It's like
going on.
it's like, oh my, like that shit was so fucking dope to me when
I would have wanted
going
to do when we were going to PCC.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, if I didn't fucking have the kids. But we had 4 kids when we were
and I was like,
at
no,
PCC.
No,
yeah,
no.
I'm like, you can stay with the kids.
No.
Like, you stay with the kids and stuff for me,
Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think like, and I regret it. I really do. I really wish that I had it in me to have told her, go do that.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
what's up, yes,
go do that. Go fucking study abroad. Like, and go do it. Because you know what? These are things that you can take advantage of.
Yeah, so inform your kids of that stuff.
Yeah.
And if you're informed, I think that's a really good thing to say. If you're informed, even with the whole college and stuff like that, stuff that you can inform your kids. You know what I'm saying? If you're not informed, then they're gonna be like, well, I don't even know how to inform myself. You have to have that kid that's really inquisitive, like that's really like, really like, oh, I'm wondering, and that's pretty much what happened when I went to school. I was like, what was that? And what's that?
Like
And what's an
you know
AA?
what? Like
What is
one
that?
thing, I want to say. Sorry to cut you off.
No.
Is I know this is weird, but I'm gonna go off and say it. Let's do some. Like I know everybody's like, that's some white boy shit, fool. Or don't do that. Hey, I don't give a fuck how white it sounds or how not white it sounds. To go fucking tell your kid to fucking go study abroad and do this shit and learn this shit. Hey, check this out, Erica. Her friend from the one I was talking about, Allie. What did they do? What did the dad do to her fucking the 18-year-old? Remember Momo? Like young, watch this shit. Listen to this.
For her 18th birthday, he's like, okay, you're done with school or whatever. For his 18th birthday, his dad sent him his dad.
Oh yeah.
Had sent him to another country. So he goes, you know what? Here's for freaking the ticket. You're gonna go for a couple of months to, where did he send her? Germany. Send her to Germany for her 18th birthday by herself. Here, Tama, you're gonna go over there. You're gonna freaking learn something different.
Like that was dope. Like that was dope as fuck. I don't give a fuck. Even if she had troubles and all this shit.
I mean, that's what he was trying to do with all his kids. And I think with Desiree,
he said went to Hawaii too.
Oh yeah, Desiree sent to Hawaii too.
Like just on their own. Like
she was
don't
in
get me
Hawaii
wrong.
With these maps, and he had like booked rooms for her though. So he had planned this whole itinerary for her. So he knew there was guides for her. He knew who the guides were. He knew where she was staying. That was paid for. You know what I mean? It was like
that's what I'm saying though. That's dope.
Yeah, that's dope.
That's what you have to do that as a parent. Like I wish I could have provided
experiences.
That. I swear, all the shit that I did, all the fucking bullshit ass fucking like.
I think we should provide experiences shit that I did what we did like because, crazy. Like we said, they lived on campus with us. It wasn't just all crazy.
No,
they
was
lived
dope.
On campus with us.
No, it was dope.
They went on campus with me. They went into a college classroom with me, right, Felice? You went into the university at UC Irvine. You went into one of the classrooms with me, right? Mm-hmm. I would take them to class with me, even my little one. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, no, they had different experiences. You know what I'm saying? They had some dope ass experiences.
No, I think they did.
Gordo went to with the Oxford Preparatory Academy school that I had him enrolled in, and in order for them to go, my kids to go to that school, I homeschooled Gordo for 2 years and waitlisted him in order for him to be able to go to that school. And that was when we left Irvine because I was like, oh, the schools over here suck, and we were in Chino and it was fucking trash. And I was like, and I was like, I'm not sending him to this school. And I found that school was a charter school, so freaking nice homeschooling. He and Gordo ended up going 4th grade. They flew him at that school. They flew him to Sacramento. That was his 4th grade field trip. For how they do field trips. 5th grade they did the basic like Big Bear or whatever. 6th grade they did like Catalina Island or whatever they do. And then 7th grade they flew him to Costa Rica. You know what I'm saying? Like this kid has had experiences. Our kid, like yeah.
No, that
and they've
Costa
had
Rica
good street experiences too, though. Like best believe that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the Costa Rica trip was dope as fuck because he was like that. I never had so many different frijoles in so many different ways and loving it. Mm-hmm. Like he goes, I don't even complain. You motherfuckers don't want to eat beans here, but all kinds of different ways and different colors, and I'm like, oh, that's dope. You know what I mean? So I mean that's dope. You know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying, right? Without this higher education or higher learning, how do you learn these things? Because your homies ain't telling you. My homies ain't telling me this shit. Erica was telling me this shit.
And it was just like by chance, honestly, like, because I was just going to school to get my high school diploma.
So how do you do it, right? Because you know what? I can see a lot of homies, a lot of Southside homies that's like, man, the shit you could not have done. You know what I'm saying? Like, who you could have been other than just some gangbanging shit. You know what I'm saying? And no disrespect. I mean, like, we all lived it. You know what I mean? I still live this shit. But, like, come on, man. Like, let's That's why I push for higher learning, and that's the reason why is because we didn't get that. You know what I'm saying? We got the streets, we got the tough love, and all this other shit. You know what I mean? So it's like I just want to see that. You know what I mean? Like I want to see my daughter. You know what I'm saying? To be fucking mayor of Pasadena.
And I
I
think
swear,
that-
like or a councilman. Like she could do that. We could do that. You guys do not realize how easy it is to do some of that shit.
Have a degree
No.
to do that.
But that's what I'm saying. But how are you gonna know that without being educated of it, or
They
what
have to
you
be,
do,
like, maybe
or
they have to
who
be
you
drawn
know?
to do it themselves. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So no. Sometimes, how many times I would not like this? How I felt. Just to bring it back. If someone would have told me, "Hey, fucking UFC would have been the shit," this and that, because I hated boxing, right? Because I don't do the boxing too much, just boxing. Like I'm a street motherfucker, so you'll get everything from me. We're gonna fucking wrestle. We're gonna fucking box. We're gonna fucking kick. We're gonna do all this shit. It's street shit, right? If someone would have fucking told me, check it out, all that shit you're doing, all that you're investing in right there, come do that in UFC, and we got you. You're an SP. You can have that. I'm going here. Nobody did that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody in my realm was educated enough, and that's why I feel like that. No one in my realm was educated enough to say, "Hey, check this out. Do this, bro. I got you."
Adam Creeper says you have to have the heart for what you want to do in life. That's true. I think so too.
But
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah.
That's true. But some of these kids don't even know that. Like they don't. Like right now, you know what? Think about this.
It's because you have to have the heart. It's
No,
like
no,
you
no,
said, not,
no,
not
no,
here. You have
no.
to have the heart.
That's the heart, but
Yeah.
the
That's what he's
mindset.
saying.
But the
you have to have the heart.
mindset, yeah. But you have to get your mind prepared for your heart to just follow it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you're good here, regardless of what's going down, your heart's gonna follow that. I'm down with that, but yeah, I like this better. You know what I'm saying? So like to me, it's like this. Like, right, there's so many fucking kids rapping. That's all they want to do is rap, 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 rap. I haven't heard one fucking kid around me, even before me, to be able to fucking come up to me and be like, you know what, fool? I want to be, and I'm gonna bring it back to the same thing. You're gonna be like the whole mayor, the whole yes. That's where you live. That's where you reside at. That's where your parents or your grandparents and all the other people that you fuck with. That's how you're gonna make a direct change. Unless you just don't give a fuck, then you're not gonna do nothing. But in order for us to know all this information, someone above us needs to be educated and know that information. Just the information. Just give me the information. After the information is just like God, right? You know God, and you know all this stuff, and you know all this, and someone teaches you that, right? You could fully go straight God, or you could do your and live right and still be good. You ain't got to do the whole like straight everyday God stuff, but you have the information. Once you have the information, you cannot blame no one. You cannot say shit about no one. You were given the information. Do what you got to do, and boom.
Adam said it's because it's easy money if they make it.
Yeah, but fuck easy. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Creeper. But fuck the easy money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm about like, I just look. I'll give you a perfect example. I had to make my rent by today, no, yesterday, and I had 3 days to make the rent. Right? I know what I need to do. I have the information. Rick has been telling me the whole thing the whole time. This is how you got to do it. This is, and I've been like, nah, 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 nah. Yeah. Okay. Finally, I said, fuck it. Okay. I'm throwing in the towel. I'm gonna listen to somebody else's stuff, regardless, because she don't do what I do. It's regarding Uber. She don't do Uber. But she said, do it like this. Just information. That's it. See what happens. Boom, boom, boom. I did it how she said. My rent's paid. I'm good. Everything's good. I got it. Boom. Thank you. Proper information. Gave it to me. I took it. I ran with it. But I fought with it for like 6, 7 months. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like with just even higher learning, someone has to give you that like the info. Someone has to encourage you. It can't just be a like a self thing. You know what I'm saying? Because we could self want a lot of shit.
It was just a self thing for me.
What?
It was just a self thing for me. I'm like, nobody encouraged me to do shit. It was just self.
But
Nobody encouraged to do
no,
nothing.
but overall, you made the better. You better not encourage nobody. You did encourage me.
No, nobody encouraged me.
Yeah, nobody encouraged you. You're wrong. Someone did encourage you. Sorry, I don't hate that. Nobody. Yes, they did. They encouraged you when you went to school, and you knew this is the basic shit. You know what I'm saying? Make your fucking decision on what, and pick it
No,
and know what's
no, it's
up.
because nobody encouraged. That's just providing information. Like
Yeah.
you're saying, that's not encouragement. So when I went to school to get my thing, I started hearing people say, "Oh, did you get this? The English 100? I don't know. I need this one for that section, and I need this for that section." I'm like, and the teachers were saying, "Well, you need this one if you want to transfer." And I was like, "What is all this terminology?
Professor Francisco never encouraged you.
Not not from the beginning, like not initially. So I'm the one who really wanted to do the things. We're talking about family, right? In higher education.
No, but anybody you know.
Right.
Anybody.
So, but we're talking about your family.
No,
What do you do with your kids?
anyone.
In higher education right now for this episode, we're talking about family. What do you do with your kids? Do you encourage them for higher education? Should you, you know what I mean? Like, and this and that. And you saying, yes, you should encourage your kids. You know what I mean? Like,
Because I'm a
that's good,
parent,
right?
duh.
Because that's what we're talking about. Our kids. How did you get encouraged? Should you get encouraged? What happened with higher education? So that's what I'm talking about. I didn't get encouragement from family or anything. Even when I wanted to, decided to, that I'm gonna go to further, I was asking questions. I'm the one who was asking questions like, "What is this?" And yes. And then I got the encouragement, but it was me who was inquisitive to say, "Hey, what is this that I've been hearing? I don't know. Like it's like something about a transfer." And then I was like, "Yeah, like there's different degrees. What are degrees? Da da da." But that was like me asking questions about what it was and then being encouraged after that at school, but in home or nothing like that, that never happened. So we should
was
have
your
that.
particular
So we should have that as a thing that we do at home, and that's what we're talking about. Should we have that as Latinos, as a Latino community? Should we encourage in our homes our children to go to school? And that's what, yeah, yes, we to go to higher education. Yes, we should. But if they are not in intuitive, they're not like that. It doesn't. They're not. They don't like math. They don't like English. They don't want to read and things like that. Then you could encourage them to go to school and pick up a trade. You know what I'm saying? Still, you know what I mean? There's other options to do it too.
No, you're right. But what about for like the less
Most men are
fortunate?
one-sided. Women are more open. They can do more than one man. Yeah, you're right.
No,
Yeah.
so what do you get? So what do we do? What do not me like I'm gonna go physically do something overall, but what do we as a community or as a whole do then for people because that's your experience, right? And my experience could be different. Someone else's experience could be different, right? So what about for those kids that don't have the mom and the dad there, and or they have one parent or no parent and have the streets. That's what I'm saying. Like that, your homie should have did that. You get what I'm saying? Your homeboys should have, no matter what. Some of your all your homies ain't stupid. All your homies ain't fucking.
You get that on your own.
Yeah. All your homies
don't do that.
Yes, they
That's why
do.
we don't. You don't
Yeah,
talk
they
about
do.
the homies in
They
higher
do.
education.
And,
Homies in higher education don't mix.
yes, they do. And the reason I say that is because, like, I remember fucking when I was going to like junior college and Pasadena College and shit, like some dude in a wheelchair and shit, just pushing right like by himself all the time, and I was like, damn, so all banged out. So I hit him up like, what's up, this is that. And he's like, oh yeah, you know what I mean, like, um, I just wanted to come here and shit just to see what's up, you know what I mean, like whoopty whoop, you know what I mean. I don't got nothing going, you know what I mean. I'm fucking handicapped, fucking bullet or whatever, whoopty whoop, right? Okay, cool. So what are you doing this for? He was like, because I could teach my kid, not my kids. He goes, I could teach my homies better than what I did. So there are even in outside of because Erica always has this issue of like the neighborhood or gang rise, like they do teach and they do show and they do, and she's gonna say no or something. I don't know what, but all I'm saying is for the people that are less fortunate that don't have a mom and a dad or one, just overall, you have homies, right? And as like me right now, I'm trying to say like we should encourage our friends. We should encourage our neighbors or whoever we have around us because you never know who that person can be or what he can do. So therefore, it's not just a family thing; it's a community thing. You know what I'm saying? And I might be able to say this fool that you know what he probably could get 3 strikes, 25 to life, or the death penalty. But I'm gonna give him some info and see what he does with it, and maybe this motherfucker becomes president. You know what I'm saying? And I've always been that person. I've never been the whole thing of just like, oh, stuck to one shit. No, I tell my homies like, hey, whoop de whoop, this and that. So it's like that's what I mean by like it's not just a family thing because some people don't feel right in their homes or don't feel in touch with their parents or don't feel in touch with their aunt or family. So therefore they run to the homies. So homies have a fucking like they have some type of like responsibility and you should have it to teach your younger homies what's going down. Straight up. No? Maybe so.
I'm like, I get his message.
No, for real. They should. My
And I
homies,
don't want
like
this.
I was raised really good. But I wish one of my older homies, whether it was like coming back from fucking Vietnam or World War or whatever it was that they were doing, you know what I'm saying? Like to come tell me, hey fool, like you got the putazos fool, why don't you put that shit in something? They didn't do that. They didn't do that. And I have a little homie right now, Troubles. A little homie. That fool got some hands. I haven't got a hold of the dude. I remember meeting him once when he was like maybe 12 or 13. I haven't met him yet, but let me get a hold of him. And that's what I'm talking about. Let me get a hold of Troubles and watch. If I can get a hold of him and I could do what I like, not what I want, but overall just give him some information, next UFC motherfucker. Because there's one right now. I don't know if everybody's been noticing. There's a UFC fight right now. Did you know that? Straight KKK motherfucker. Straight. Like, came out of this motherfucker like, what? And someone gave him that info. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? So, what are we going to do? We're just going to sit around and be like, oh, well, he's a fucking loser. He's a gangbanger. Or he's this and that. That's not, who cares about him? We all have our opinions. So, to me, it's like this. Like, higher education is not just being taught or given and from like or introduced to you just by your parents and anyone more. It's anyone around you. They're all at fault. Anyone around you because they have that info. Anyone, mom, dad,
If
uncle.
they have the info, right?
Yeah, if they have the info, all of them. They all. Everybody's so fucking susceptible or whatever to the whole shit. So to me, Let's push that shit. Let's get that shit going. Let's
So
have some.
ultimately, I guess we are saying that higher education is something that we should at least
Yes.
provide as an option and inform.
Yes.
At least provide it and be well informed about it. Like I used to hate it when people were like, "Well, I think that if you do this, like, no, don't be like if I think this, like." Be well informed if you're gonna be providing the information. Like, make sure you ain't talking out your ass, talking about university and you've never been there, talking about how you're gonna and you've never fucking done it. Like, leave that to somebody else who has done it. Direct somebody to the right way, to the right person, to give them the right information. But yeah, continue. I think ultimately that's what we're saying. Encouraging higher education is the way to go.
And not only just like for self things, just for like us as a whole. The fuck are we doing here? I always tell Erica that all the time. The fuck are we doing here?
And higher education is not just like university. Higher education does include developing a skill or trade. That is higher
Yeah.
education. That's after high school and stuff like that. So anything like that, a computer skill, a software skill, that's all beyond high school and stuff. So you know what I mean? Encouraging stuff like that I think is always like a positive. Like just getting your kids to have like different tools in their tool belt, or the youth in your community to, inform and let them know, about the different options that they have with higher education. So
I agree
with
with
that
that.
said,
All of it.
that was a lot of information. Thank everybody for tuning in. We do want to keep it for the hour so that we respect everybody's time. Thanks everybody for all your input. Adam, thank you so much. I'm sorry we didn't get to all your messages, but all your input. But we will put it on our page and stuff. It says we have to change as people, so let them go to college to change as a whole. That's right. That's why I do career day at schools and do kids have choices. That's right. Career day. I've never done that. I've never done fucking career day. I would
She has. She
love.
probably doesn't even remember it. Yeah, I did career day.
I've
Yes.
never done career
We
day.
could,
So that's a
but
good
hold
thing,
on.
you know what I'm saying?
Before we go, this is a big, 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 big thing that I've been trying to push for a long, long time. Creeper, Cero Pedo. Remember that hangout we fucking met at the PCITI that was doing the how to count and all that shit. Felicia, you went no?
What?
Remember the whole budget?
Oh yeah, that one. PCITI?
No,
Yeah.
was it
No, I had
PCIT? No.
Ambassadors for Peace. It was the two sisters, Christina, and it was called Finance Park, and it's out in like Glendale or something like that. That's what you're trying to Finance Park.
Yeah, but
That was with Christina and I forgot her name. There were two sisters that were involved in this organization, Ambassadors for Peace, that we were involved in. But
Yeah.
wrap
But
it up.
the finance part, the shit. Like for reals. Like every kid, I don't give a fuck. Excuse my language, but if you have kids,
We'll do another episode on budgeting and
yes.
economy and money. I
Yeah,
think we should do another episode on money and money within the Latino community and what we do with our money in comparison to other communities.
and how
You know
long
what
it
I'm saying?
stays there.
Because yeah, in comparison to other communities, and that's what he's talking about, how long it stays there.
That's
But
what
we'll
I'm
do
saying.
another one and we'll do this whole budget finance park thing, incorporate that. But yeah, that's higher
But
education.
that's
the
my
higher
thing.
education.
Them two sisters, dope as fuck. Just as fun, just because of this whole thing. Like no one knows. Tell me, somebody, anybody listening, have you guys heard of Finance Park? It's Finance Park.
Yeah.
Finance Park. If you haven't heard of it, you better. It's a bust. It's a fucking like 113% fact. You need to go take them there. Like it's not even a question.
We'll give more information on
You
the
know what I
next
mean?
episode when we talk about the economy and money. We'll give information about finance part and about how phone number, how to get in contact with them, and how to get, because you can get
Yeah, because there's a
villagers, and it's
minimum
like
and all
like
this
a
other shit.
museum. Gotta teach the kids to survive this world. That's right. That's right. So once again, thanks for joining us. Two Beans in a Pod. Please go follow us on Instagram. Two Beans in a Pod. TWOBANSINAPOD_1, and on YouTube it's Downer and Erica, and on Facebook we're at Downer Erica Peens with a PEANS. We still can't change that. We have to wait another 30 days because homeboy here fucked it up. But yeah, and we're on Podbean, Spotify. And if homeboy here fixes our, artwork, we could be on iTunes and Google Podcasts and all that other stuff.
I've already fixed it.
That we've been marketing, but yet we're not on. But yeah, we'll work on that. Thank everybody for tuning in. Two Beans in a Pod.
Thank you guys. You guys.
Happy birthday, Blackie Fontana. Today was his 35th birthday, and we'll be using his song for the introduction.
Let's play this right
now.
Yeah.
And rest in peace, Blackie Fontana. I'm sorry, we've been using your song. Today would have been his 35th birthday, Blackie Fontana.
Hey,
here we go.
Straight motherfucker.
Only 10 seconds legally.
Right here, check it out.
Yeah, leave it to down.
Leave it to Downer.
He's like, look, we're gonna do this.
Do what?
I don't know.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Always take it right, never the consequences. Now my enemies leave them leaking my intentions. That hood life, the life is what I'm living. This that hood life.
Happy birthday, Blackie.
Blackie. Actually, has a poster with him.
Happy birthday.
R.I.P. Blackie Fontana. You know what's up. Peace.
Deuces.